Hello, welcome to part 3 of the Carol World Creation Summative. Now, in part 1, we built this world over here that Carol starts in. Part 2, we created this solution. This is what we want Carol, how we want Carol to end up, what we want the world to look like when Carol's done. And now, part 3, you guessed it, we're going to write the code that takes this situation and makes it look like this situation. So let's jump right in. This is the hardest part. Now, I'm going to, this sample code here is already just like dropped in for me. So I'm just going to delete that when that was there created by CodeHS. And the first item in the checklist is that I need a start function. So I'm going to write function start and start doing my top-down design, right? So I'm going to start sort of planning out what I want Carol to do here. I know from my world that Carol's starting here, facing down, and 2 steps to drop that ball. So I know Carol's going to move. Let's do 2 steps. Now, there is no function called 2 steps built in, but I'm going to define that later, right? And right now, I'm just sort of planning out what I want Carol to do. Okay, then we have this sort of shelf thing in the middle. And so I want Carol to get over to the shelves. So I'm going to have Carol go down another 2. I could have them go down 1 and then over 1 and then up 1. But I think I'll just have Carol go down 2 and then down 2 again. I can go a little farther than this wall has me here. So that's no problem. It just allows me to use the 2 steps function again. So 2 steps. And so I'm going to go down 2 steps again. And then I think I said down 2 steps again. Now I could have made this 6 steps, but then it wouldn't have allowed me to place the ball in the earlier part. I forgot to place the ball. So let's put that in here. Put ball. I think that was the command, right? If I'm not sure, I can go to the docs tab up here and look, right, put ball, okay? So 2 steps. Here's Carol, 2 steps, put ball, 2 steps, 2 steps, and then I want Carol to turn left. Turn left, and then go forward 1, and then we're going to turn left again, I think, and then let's do another 2 steps. But let's turn left again and just sort of see where we're at. So I'm going to close that, so I have a little more screen real estate here, and let's just run this to see where things are at. Oh, I have a problem. 2 steps is not defined. Of course, I never defined it yet, right? So let's define 2 steps. I need to make sure that I am outside of these curly braces from the start function here. So let me mark this up. Here's the curly brace that indicates the start, the beginning of the start function, right? And the start function is composed of everything down to this ending curly brace right here. So I cannot put my 2-step definition inside that. I need to define a new function for 2 steps. So that's going to go, let's get rid of this stuff. That's going to go outside of the start function. So function 2 steps. And then, so some common errors here. Don't put a semicolon there. Make sure you have those parentheses. Make sure you have that curly brace and the closing curly brace, and then we can type your commands inside here. 2 steps is simply stepping forward twice. So we'll do move, move. All right. So now let's see if my code will run. I'm going to click run again here, and Carol is moving. 2 steps, drop the ball, 2 steps, 2 steps again, turn left, move, turn left. Okay, good. So I got this error message out the bottom. Oops, there should be 1 ball at 14.3, but there's 0, right? Well, so this is CodeHS actually checking the arrangement of tennis balls in here to see if they match the solution that I invented over here. So at 14.3, there's supposed to be a tennis ball, but my code doesn't have one yet. So that's why that error message pops up, but that's okay because we haven't written the code for it yet. Now, Carol's in a good place here because now I'm going to have Carol move up 1, 2 again and get ready to place a ball on that shelf. So let's just come back here and do 2 steps. And then Carol will be right here, and I need Carol to turn right. All right, so turn right. Now remember, I don't have a turn right function, so I'll have to go function, turn right, and define that here as 3 turn lefts, right? All right, so now Carol will be here, turning right, and then it's, well, all right, so maybe what I should do here is write another function that will allow, because I'm going to be repeating this like place a ball on a shelf thing. So when Carol is right here, let's run the code so I can see where Carol is now. I'm going to speed this up. Carol, awesome. Okay, good. This is where I want Carol to be. I'm going to write, and this must be tiny on your screen. I apologize. I hope you're able to zoom in some. I'm going to write some code to have Carol step in, place the ball, and then step back out. And that will be like the idea of placing a ball on the shelf. Okay, so let's call that put ball on shelf. So put ball on shelf, that'll have them go in and then back out. And then we want them to move up a step, put ball on shelf, move up a step, put ball on shelf. So I'm going to define another function here called move up 1. And then we're going to just copy paste this a few times to see what we get what we need here. Notice these funky indents. You'll get a little yellow warning if you do that. Now, my code is getting kind of long and a little complex, so I'm going to put it at an empty line right here just so I can sort of see where things are at here a little bit better. So I'm going to do 1 ball on a shelf, move up, another ball, move up, 3, 4, 5, and then I move up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's test this out. Now, if I run it right now, what's going to happen? I hope you realize that I'm going to get an error because I haven't defined this function yet, right? So I run, put ball on shelf is not defined. So we're going to have to define put ball on shelf. And click reset, so this code here will open up a little bit. And let's see here, where should I define put ball on shelf? Notice I can collapse these little arrows in the gutter, and I can see that I have these 3 functions. It doesn't matter where I define put ball on shelf as long as it's not inside one of those functions, right? So make sure that at this point you are not inside this pair of curly braces there to here, or the same thing for this one between here and here. So I do not want to be inside those. I'll be outside of this, and I'll define a new function called put ball on shelf. And let's see here. Put ball on shelf is going to be a step forward, so it's a move, put ball, and then it's a turn around. Ooh, I don't have a turn around, but I'm going to need a turn around and a move forward again. So I'm going to do a turn around. Look at this. This is getting complicated. And then a move. And then I want to position Carol in the same place he was pointing when I got started here. So I'm going to have a turn around again. Now, if I run this, I'm going to get another error because I don't have turn around defined. So let's define a turn around function. Turn around. And this is a turn left, turn left. I think you remember that from the lesson that was in, right? All right, so now let's see how this goes. Oh, move up 1 is not defined. Okay, so I want to test this put the ball on the shelf thing, but now I have this move up 1, but I'm feeling a little impatient. I want to test it before I write move up 1. So I'm going to comment out all these lines. So highlight them all, push Control or Command if you're on a Mac, and the slash key, that's the one that has a question mark on it. And notice it puts these comments in front of all the lines. So those lines of code will not run now, which is nice because I can test just this and I don't have to worry about getting an error on these. So we'll run this. Carol cruise along. Nice, did exactly what I wanted him to do. So now we'll do the move up 1 code here, move up 1 function. And this is going to be a turn left, a move, and a turn right. That's the equivalent of moving up, right? So turn left, move, turn right. Now, Do I need to define turn right again? I don't, because I have it once, and that's cool. Like the program only needs it once. So now I'm going to uncomment these things. Again, just highlight them, do Control and slash. That's the key that has a question mark on it. So hold down Control, press slash. That comments, that toggles the comments in and out. So now that I've turned off the comments, these lines of code will actually run. Let's run, see what happens. Nice job, Carol. Yes, Carol is doing what I was hoping. Of course, it never works this quickly. And uh-oh, an error. Carol crashed into the wall. What happened here? Showing me the error is down here on this line. Move up one. Well, so I guess my problem here is that after I place this last ball, I don't want to move up one. I don't want to move up one anymore. That's what made Carol hit this wall. So I'm going to go back up to my start function, find this last ball that I placed, and get rid of the last move up one that comes after that. So I learned now that Carol runs into a wall if I try to move up one after placing that last ball. So now Carol will end up here, and let's see how Carol ends. Oh, I'm pushing continue, but I'm getting this error again, right? Because I need to reset until get run, and now Carol runs. Let's go. Cool. I hope you are doing this sort of thing to speed up your Carol. Good. Okay, so now this is where I wanted Carol to end up. And now Carol's going to go over here and place the ball down there. So that's a 1, 2, 3 over. I could define a 3 steps function, but I already did a 2 steps and I have a move. So let's just use what I already have. So I'll do a 2 steps move, right? Or I could have done just move, 3 steps. Either way, like a 2 step and a 1 gets me a 3, or a move gets me 3, either way. And then I'm going to turn right. So turn right. Now Carol is here, turning right, so I'm facing down. So 1, 2 steps, 2 steps. Good. Place a ball. Oh, by the way, if I don't remember what this world looks like, I can always just re-expand this, right, and see that this is where Carol's supposed to put the ball. I'm going to close this up so I have a little more real estate again. So I've placed the ball, and now I need to turn around so I can go back up to my ending spot. Is that my ending spot? Yeah, my ending spot is up there. Okay, so I need to, so here, just place the ball, so I'm going to turn around. And then 2 steps to get back up. Now I'm up here. Let's just run to sort of see, because I'm kind of losing track. Place ball is not defined. Oh, it's put ball, right? I can go back to the docs, see that it's put ball, not place ball. So just change that to put ball and reset and run. All right, go Carol. Speed this up a little more even. All right, good. Carol is right there. That's kind of where I want Carol. Now I just have to put Carol back right on top of the stacks, and we should be good to go. So Carol's there. I'm going to turn left. Turn left. We'll go forward 2. Hey, I have 2 steps. This 2 steps command is coming in kind of handy. Now Carol is Carol's there. That's where I want Carol to be. However, I want Carol to be right side up, not upside down. So I think Carol can just turn around at this point, and Carol will be right side up. All right, let's run. Go even faster. Go, Carol. Okay, I think that's what I want for my world. I'm going to click save. I should have auto save. Nice. You should be pushing save a lot on this, right? Now it says down here, oops, there should be 0 balls at 15.3, but there is 1. All right, so at 15.3, I could count over 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 15. Now, if I look closely at my, hey, look, that line is back in here. If I look closely at the, world that I have here and compare it to the result world, the solution world, I do notice this is going to be hard for you to see on your screen, but there actually is no ball right there where Carol is ending up. So let's let's erase this. We want to not place a ball there. So your job right now is to get this to a point where Carol recreates the solution that you actually made there. So I want to not put that ball. Oh, hey, I could go back in my code and figure out where that was and not put it there. Or I could just pick up the ball, right? Why don't I just do that? What's the pickup ball command here? Take ball. All right, so the last thing I'll do is take ball. I have this sort of like useless ball at the top there, but I'll place it and then I'll just take it again rather than find the place. There we go. And nice job, you got it. That was great. Okay, so that was part 3. That was a long part, right? Now, let's just be clear. Your code doesn't have to be that long. I sort of went a little above and beyond with this one. I think this is more complex, right? There's a start, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other functions defined. I think the assignment asks you to define 2 functions outside of start. So your world might not be quite as complex as this, or need, or result. Okay, there we go. That's enough for me for now. Enjoy writing code for Carol, and good luck.